Good afternoon. It's Bena Midday News coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. I'm Khadija Tukubra Keilani. In today's headlines, MPP Chairman Stephen Ntim calls on members to rally behind whoever emerges as the flag bearer of the party. Alan Chamatin charges volunteer to get rid of MPP and NDC by 2024. And in some international stories, fighting intensify in Gaza as Israel engage with gunfire from air, sea, and land. We bring you details of the stories shortly. Thank you for staying with us. The national chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party, the MPP, Mr. Stephen Ntim, has made a clarion call on the entire membership of the MPP to rally behind whoever will emerge as the party's new flag bearer after the presidential primaries on Saturday, November 4, 2023. The MPP national chairman pointed out that unwavering support for the party's new leader after the internal poll is the surest way for the party to achieve its goal of breaking the eight.
Mr. Stephen Ntim made the call during a meeting between the National Council of Elders and the aspirants, where the 4 aspirants contesting the flag-bearer election of the New Patriotic Party were made to sign an undertaking not to resign from the party if any of them loses the primary on Saturday. Mr. Ntim appealed to all candidates to put the interest of the party before their own interest and rally behind any candidates that emerge victorious.
Rallying behind the eventual...
In all, over 204,000 delegates are expected to cast their ballots at all 275 constituencies across the country on Saturday.
Still on politics, the leader of the independent political group, Alan Kojo Chamatin, has called on Ghanaians to help move Ghana beyond what he describes as the duopoly of MPP and NDC. He made this call during an outreach program organized by the movement to register volunteers in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi.
The group is poised for victory in the 2024 presidential elections. On Wednesday, November 3rd, 2023, the movement took to the streets of Kumasi to register volunteers to help in their campaign to secure victory. Speaking at the first volunteer orientation and registration in Kumasi, leader of the movement, Alan Kojo Chamatin, urged Ghanaians to help put an end to the over 30-year rule of both MPP and NDC.
Ghanaians say the 32-year rule of NDC and MPP has not yielded
Pleaded guilty to theft and attempt to destroy public property were sentenced on Thursday, 1st November 2023. The third suspect, Abdul Wahab Seidu, a 20-year-old plumber, had his sentence deferred for the next 3 weeks.
Sichofe Agboja, 26, and Deladem Kojo Chirakasu, 29, pleaded guilty to the theft and attempt to destroy public property, were sentenced on Thursday, 1st November 2023. The third suspect, Abdul Wahab Seidu, a 20-year-old plumber, had his sentence deferred for the next 3 weeks. The judge ordered a social inquiry to be conducted on Mr. Wahab as he was below 21 years old and a first-time offender. The court will receive the social inquiry report before pronouncing the final judgment. The suspects were apprehended by residents of Adaklu Chirefe, and later handed over to the Volta Regional Police Command on Thursday, 5th October 2023, for vandalizing an electricity company of Ghana transformer and stealing valuable components. According to the ECG Volta Regional PRO, Mr. Benjamin Obin Entry, the stolen transformer was valued at 104,000 Ghana cedis, excluding labor and expenses. He expressed concern about the impact of such incidents on the power supply to customers and urged the public to assist in curbing this menace. The general manager of ECG in the Volta region, Christiana Jato Kalo, commended the community for their vigilance and called on the public to report any suspicious activities, including ECG installations.
Airport Dealers Association has aborted its plans to embark on a sit-down strike against the Ghana Revenue Authority. Over the ongoing compliance and monetary exercise, the head of communications of the association, Mr. Techi Ado, made the announcement during a press conference in Accra.
The association said its planned sit-down strike was intended to send a signal to the government and the GRA, but after their engagement with Ghana Revenue Authority and the Customs Division, they decided to call off the industrial action.
It's not only GRA with the customs. We'll look at the custom aspect of it. Kumasi Accra Highway, you see a task force somewhere, Bankra, Busu Junction, Anya Kwanta. We told the commissioner that we don't want to see the task force on our highways, so they need to withdraw them with immediate effect. But as we are speaking today, Mr. Seidu, that's the commissioner, customs, he has done that. This task force has been called back to their respective stations. But with respect to the GRA, we told them we don't want to see this manual policy implementation to station some officers in our shop. We don't want to see it, but they have other way to get their revenues. So I think we are in the headway with the negotiation level with the commissioner. So we decided that we need to call the strike for the time being, because next week we'll meet the commissioner. Then we'll get the full details.
The group added that the custom divisions also addressed the sentiment by the dealers by progressively recalling its officers who were earlier deployed to various shops in Accra to the police dealers.
Some international stories. Fighting has intensified this morning in 5 different areas in Gaza City and the north, with West Gaza suffering the biggest incursions. The Israeli army is engaging Hamas militants with gunfire from air, sea, and land. Hamas issued statements yesterday that they were fighting the Israeli army using anti-tank missiles.
The airstrikes continued overnight, especially around Al-Khus Hospital near Gaza City, where about 14,000 people are taking shelter in the hospital. The hospital said 8 people were connected to life-saving machines, and it was impossible to move them because most roads around the hospital were damaged, and heavy fighting with Hamas was happening about 500 meters away from the hospital. Israel is in control of both roads, the main exit to Gaza in the north and the coastal road, making exit out of Gaza extremely difficult, with people risking their lives to leave to the south. 2/3 of the population are getting some sort of aid from Egypt in the south. About 300 lorries and another 100 are expected today. Though the humanitarian situation is worsening for those in the north, about 700,000 people in Gaza are with no access to electricity, water, or internet.
And finally, in sports, former West Ham midfielder Nigel Reo-Coker has linked Mohamed Kudus' early performance for the Hammers to that of Jeremy Doku at Manchester City. Reo-Coker believes that David Moyes can get the most of the Ghana international if he plays him on the flanks.
Kudus is enjoying a blazing start to life in England, scoring an important goal on Wednesday night as the Irons eliminated Arsenal from the Carabao Cup. According to him, he does not see the reason why David Moyes deployed Kudus in the middle instead of the flanks. He said Kudus can have the same impact as Doku does for Manchester City, adding that Paqueta should be in the middle for West Ham since the Brazilian is an all-round attacker. The former Ajax midfielder has already netted 4 times for the club since joining them in the summer transfer window.
Have for you in our midday news. Log on to Beina Multimedia for more stories and breaking news. My name is Khadija Tukubra Keilani. Do enjoy the rest of our program.